In this video series, we're going to learn about Blocksy Theme. Hi, my name is Stratos and I create video tutorials about WordPress. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I didn't want to create just an intro video for 2 minutes that will say basically this is a series about Blocksy, and by watching here this series you're going to learn everything that Blocksy has to offer in order for you to create a website. So basically we're going to see all the features that Blocksy has, and we're going first to start with the website of Blocksy. If you don't know, this is the URL. I'm going to put the URL in the description below, and as always, this is not an affiliate link. In this series, I'm going to use the pro version of the theme, but some of the features that I'm going to show you, they are in the free version as well. In my opinion, this is one of the best themes that you can get. It has fast support, very fast support, and it has amazing features. I'm going to close this, and this is the website that we're going to play with. This is almost an empty, a blank website, but I have created 4 pages, and I have created also a menu here in the appearance. Let's go to the menus to see the menus, and also I have set the permalinks and the home page in the reading to be as the default page. Also in the home page, I have added an image. Let's go and view the home page just to have the first content inside the page in order to see how we can create the header and how it's going to look. Let's close that and let's go back first here. So here I have installed the theme. This is the theme of Blocksy, and once you do that, it will ask you to install also the Blocksy Companion. If you have the pro version, then you can install the Blocksy Companion Premium. You don't need to install both. If you don't, then you will use the Blocksy Companion free version in order to use Blocksy Theme. After that, you will see here that says Blocksy, and then you can go into the dashboard. Here we have the home, which you can find some settings here, and if you click the customize, it will jump directly into the customizer, into the option that you have clicked. And if you click the documentation, it will go into the documentation to read about the option that you have also selected. Let's go to the next one, which is the starter sites. And this, of course, is the library that will offer you ready templates that you can add and import basically into your website. You can use Gutenberg or Elementor, as you can see here. Maybe they have other libraries that using another builder, but for me, we're not going to use any of that. Let's go to the extensions. Here we're going to see that all the extensions are disabled. I'm not going to enable any of those. I'm going to start with the customizer, and then when we finish the customizer, I'm going to jump into here, enable one by one, and we're going to see again into the customizer or into the pages where and what every extension can do. The useful plugins are some plugins that can work well with the Blocksy theme. And for the last, we have the changelog that you can read all the changes about this. The latest version at the moment that this video is produced is the 2.0.4. Now keep in mind that I will also update as the time goes by, because I'm going to break this video series. So enough with that, let's go directly into the customizer. So this is the customizer. I'm not going to do everything in this video. I'm going to break that in more videos because there is too much of information and what we can do inside the customizer. And there are some things like the blog post, single post categories, and the pages, and I would like to create some content in order for you to see it. Of course, all the content creation will be not included in this video series because this is the video series about Blocksy. And let's get started. Here we have the general options, and we're going to click into general. Then layout, and here we're going to start with the maximum site width. This means this is the biggest screen, and this is the width that you have for the content. The content width means that it begins from the beginning of the logo that you can see here, and it ends at the far end point of the menu bar that we have here. Not the menu, because here is the menu bar and we have also a search icon inside here. But this is the end of the content. And we have that maximum width, and it's not the full page because we need to have some spaces here before and after the main content. Think it if you have visited already a website from a mobile phone, and you will see that all the content starts from the edge of the screen. It doesn't look good. And this is also something that you should be aware into the desktop version, you should always choose something and you should not go for maximum screen width. I usually keep a number here lower than 1366 because that's the common resolution of most mid-tier laptop. And if a visitor has a laptop, not too expensive, it has a medium screen, it usually has the resolution of the width that is 1366 pixels. So I want to have that a little bit less than that in order to have some content area into the left and into the right of the menu. So I usually leave it as it says here, 1290. You can go beyond that if you have many things into the menu and you want to add all of those inside there and the menu will not break. But usually I go with the default that it's great, 1290 pixels, and I usually leave it as it is. Now, if you have here a builder that requires you to put the width that you have, the maximum width of the content, then you will have to copy this number in order to put that inside there. In this series, I'm going to use Spectra, and I have already copied here the maximum width content into the Spectra settings. Next is the content area spacing, and this is basically the spacing that you have between the main content, as it says here, and the header and the footer. So basically, it's this one that you can see before the home element that you can see here, and this is the one, 60 pixels. And let's go to the bottom. Here we have also 60 pixels plus 10, I think, from Spectra. Now, this is for all the pages and the post, everything that is basically imported and displayed into your website, even if it's products or archive pages, it will have this content area spacing. If you choose to have it, it will be 60 pixels. Here we have also the icons that we can change between the desktop view, the tablet view, and the mobile view. So if you want, you can change accordingly the size that you want for the content area spacing. Also, if I click here into the pixel that says, we will see that we have the EM, viewport width, viewport height, PT, and rem. So we can change accordingly. And also we have the percentage here. Usually I leave it as it is, 60 pixels, and I think that this is something that you can also leave as it is. You can choose either to have or not the area spacing inside your pages or post later on in the video, but this is the pixels and the amount of the content area spacing that we will have. Next, we have the content edge spacing. This is basically the same thing as the content area spacing, but now we're talking about the width of the screen. So we have a little bit of spacing from the beginning of the screen, and keep in mind that I have also the customizer open, but if I didn't, this is where the screen begins. And then I have the content, the main content here. So I will have 5 viewport width, that is the space between those two. If I make this bigger, you will see that this will go into the right. And of course, also this will go into the left because the same spacing is into the right as well. Let's go and put that where it was, 5. Now, keep in mind 2 things. First is that this can be overwritten if you are using a builder that goes and override that. And also, you may find this strange because you have here the maximum site width. So why do you need this as well? This is because in many cases, someone will visit your website that will not cover the maximum site width. So maybe he has a screen that has less viewport width than what is here. So it has a screen that has the width that is 1200 pixels. So in that case, we will leave 5 viewport width in order to keep the layout as we want. So he has some space to the beginning and to the end of the screen. This is viewport width and it cannot change this is as pixels and it cannot change. Only the content area spacing can change between other units. Next, we have the narrow container max width. When we visit the post and page settings inside the customizer, we will see that we have the option to display the content into the narrow container. If you choose that, then the content will shrink and it will go into this setting, so 550 pixels. If you do that, select that, then the content will shrink and it will go into the settings that you have selected here. In this case, this is 750 pixels. Last one is the wide alignment offset, and this option, as it says here, will apply only to those elements that have the wide alignment option. And this is the offset, so it will begin after the 100 130 pixels. And that's all with the layout, so let's go back and now let's go into the buttons. As the title says, here is the basic default layout of the buttons, and of course this is if your builder is going to grab the settings from the theme. If the builder doesn't have any of those settings and it cannot do that, then there is no point on setting anything here. So in order to see how we're going to affect that, I'm going to add a button into the home page. And as you can see, I added the button and refresh the customizer in order to take the button here. So now I can go and change here from 40 into 60, and you will see that immediately this will change. Remember, this is the default setting, so every time that you add a button, this is how it's going to look. Once you set here the height, let's go for 40 pixels, and of course, as you can see, you can change basically the height into the mobile and the tablet view as well. I'm not going to change it. I think that this is great, 40 pixels. Remember that we can only change the minimum height from here, not the height, the minimum height. And if I hover here, I will see that it changed a little bit the color. The hover effect, once I enable that, it will make the button jump a little, and it will also give a little bit box shadow. I'm going to disable that because I don't like that effect, and let's go into the design. So here you can see the font color. This is the initial one, and this is once you hover over. And then we have the background color, the initial one, and then we have the hover color. If I click any of those colors, I can change the color that I want. And also here I have my palette that I haven't set yet because this is not inside the general. But it doesn't matter, you can choose here the color 8th. So basically this is most likely the white color, and then you can give from the background the colors that you want from here. And then once we go into the palette and change the colors, this button will change accordingly. What you need to remember here is that the first color is the color that it has once it's not hover over, and once you hover over the initial, it takes the second color from your palette. Let's close that, and then we have the padding. So basically this is the padding for the button. We have 5 on top and 5 on the bottom, and we can change that into 10 and 10 if we like. And then we can go for 40 and 40. And as you can see, you can change how you want the buttons. Again, this is the default settings. You can also change, of course, the pixels to another unit, and then you can set the tablet and the mobile view as well. Here we have also the border radius, and I usually put it around 8. Keep in mind that if you want something different, you can change, if you want separately, every corner by hitting into this. That will unlink the settings, and then you can change and put anything else that you want here. Also, we have that settings here, but I don't think that around button is what you want. And here, of course, the border radius. It's not often that you are going to unlink that and set something different. These are all the settings for the buttons, and let's go back, and here we have the breadcrumbs. Now, since I don't have breadcrumbs inside here, I would like to go directly and enable that. Okay, so I went and created a test page, and then I put the test page as a child of the home page. Of course, this is not best practice of WordPress. Please don't do that because it will also expand the URL. Only if you need to have the URL that it says home and then test, you can do something like child relationships into pages. So this is not ideal because I don't have at this moment posts or products in order to see the breadcrumbs directly here. But this will do for now. Breadcrumbs for me is something that I enable basically into posts or into products if I have more than one category. So if I go into 2 categories deep or 3 or 4, then it's easier for the visitor to navigate and see once he's inside the product where exactly he is at the moment. If I don't have many categories, I have only news or something, I don't usually use the breadcrumbs. I don't think that gives any value to the website. Of course, this is my opinion. So let's see the settings. We have the separator, and as you can see, we can change between the type 2, type 3, and type 1. This is the type 1 here, and then we have type 2 and type 3. Let's go for the type 1. I think that this is better. Next, we have the home item, and as you can see, this is text, and we can change into icon, so it will change into an icon and change back to text. Here we can change the home page title, and we can do something different. And if you want to remove it, I will probably use rank month SEO that I'm using, and if I handle over into Breadcrumbs, I will go and remove the home from Breadcrumbs there. Here also we have some settings, single page post title, so the page title is the test, and if we want to remove it, I can switch off and it will not say the test. Let's enable that again. Then we have the single page and post taxonomy title. I don't have the taxonomy title here, but if I had a title for the category, I could remove it as well. And then we have also the archive taxonomy title. If you have an archive page and it displays breadcrumbs inside there, you can remove it. Here also we have the blog page in breadcrumbs, and if you want, you can remove the word blog from there. Next, let's go into the design. As you can see here, we can change the breadcrumb font and the breadcrumb font color. So once I click here the dots, it will open up, and as you can see, here are all the settings. Here is the font family that says default. This is the weight of the text that you can see, and we can change into something different like medium or regular, and let's go for extra bold so we can see the changes. I don't like that at all. Let's go for semi bold, and let's click again the three dots. Then we have the font size, which is on 12 pixels at the moment. Then we have the line height, so this is the space that we have underneath. This is the space that we have between the letters. And then as you can see, this is uppercase. So if you need to change that to the default, what exactly like the title is typed, then you have just to click here. That was the uppercase selected. So you just select none of those. If you want, you can also capitalize. And this is basically once you start having more than one word, it will capitalize the first letter of every word. Let's unselect that. Here we have also the line through. I don't know why you use anything like that. I have never used that. And then we have also the underline, and as you can see, it can be changed something like this. I'm going to deselect that, and this is how we can change here the font size. Let's go for 14. And as you can see also, we can change from mobile and tablet view. Once you click something, you can also see that you can change the line height and the letter spacing for the mobile as well in the tablet view. You don't have to click every time once you go there. And here is the mobile view. Let's go back to the default one. Let's close the font, and then we have the breadcrumb font color. This is the color that we have in the last page, which is not a link basically, because this is the page that we're currently on. And then we have the initial link, which is the link here, and then we have the hover over. So once I hover, it will change the color of the link. Usually, again, I don't change that because I'm going to set the colors for the whole website into the colors once we reach that into the customizer. What you need to remember here is that the color that has the text is the third color that is here, and the links are the first and the second color. Let's go back, and then we have the form element. So I'm going to publish the form, and let's publish first here, and I'm going to refresh the test in order to grab the form that I have added into the page. Let's go back into the general, and let's go into the form. I'm going to close that. And I'm using again the Spectra in order to add the form inside here. And I know that Spectra takes the settings that I have set inside Blocksy. Now, I don't usually use the Spectra form, and I wouldn't add it in a website because I need to have more control over how it's going to be displayed into the mobile and the tablet view. Because let's say that I want to do something different, like put this first name into 50% and then put the last name next to that, and then I want into the tablet view to do the same, but in the mobile I want the fields to take 100% of the line, and I want to make a little bit more advanced of forms, so I would use a plugin in order to do that. But if you're going to use your builder and the builder grabs all the settings from Blocksy, this is how you're going to change that. So we have two layouts that we can start playing with, and once you click something, you will see that some things are going to change. So basically the background color is only for the classic form, and this form doesn't have that color. Let's go into the classic, and this is what we're going to start playing with. Let's go now to font color, and if I click here, I will see that this is grabbing the third color, and I can change that to something different. If I click and put that in red, I will see that the placeholder will change into red. So this is the color for the placeholder. This is the focus. So once you click somewhere, it will change into a black color. And this is something that you can use in order to show the visitor that he has already clicked somewhere. Then we can change the font size for the placeholder again, and we can put that something like 17. Next, we have the input text area. Let's go for the border color and let's change that to something like blue. And for the background color, I'm going to put it like basically something like that, just to have a little bit different. Once you see that it has also the focus, I can change that to a little bit white. And then once I click somewhere, you will see that it changed color again. Then we have the border size, that it's 1 pixel, and we can do and put it something like 3 or 4. Input height is 40 pixels and we can change that to 50. The text area height is for the message and the border radius is across the whole fields. Let's go then again to the colors. This is for the radio checkboxes. I don't have radio checkboxes and I'm not going to add those because the video will go for 2 hours and more. And you can change the colors, of course, and the active colors. You can change the border radius. You can also change the colors for the select drop-down. And this is all the settings that we have for the form. We don't have another card, another tab, and this is good news because I can go into the next one, which is the entry content. And in order to see that, I have to go and add some lorem ipsum text inside the page. So let's pause the video again. And now I have added the content and refresh again the customizer. I have used the default paragraph of Gutenberg, and this is crucial because if you're going to use something from your builder, then these settings may not apply. So as you can see, the content spacing is the spacing that we have here. It says comfortable, and this is between the paragraphs. And if I change that to none, I will see that I don't have any space between those. Of course, I do have some space, but it's not big. Then I have the compact, and then I have also the spaces, which is even bigger. Usually I go here and put none because I don't want any spacing from Gutenberg to put me inside here. Then I have the links type. This is basically again for the paragraph content, basically where we're going to put a link. And as you can see, the type 2 is basically, this is always underlined, and if you hover it, you will not see anything different. If I go to type 1, I will not see any line here, and if I hover over, I will not see either. Then I have the type 3 that I will not see anything, but if I hover over, I will see the line. And then I have the type 4 that it has the line, but it will change something like this. And the type 5 has this effect. So this is all the effects that you can get with the links. Usually I leave it as it is because it's easier to find it, but if my client doesn't want the underlined text inside the paragraph text, I go here and change that to the type 1. Let's go back, and then we have the social network accounts. This is an easy one. Here you're just going to put here the URL of your social accounts. You're not going to see them added inside your website anywhere, but this is basically the library for your social accounts. So once you start adding social accounts into the header and the footer in any other elements of the website from Blocksy, you can go and put here the URL. And if the customer is going to change the URL of a social account, you can go switch it inside here and it will automatically switch to every element that you have added from Blocksy into your website. Again, I'm saying switch because this is automatically going to switch. If you're going to add another social account, it will not add automatically the social account icon that you have added here. This is not how it works. It only grabs the URL from here. So I'm going to put here for the Facebook, I'm going for the email, and I'm going for the probably Instagram to put something. Let's go for Facebook everywhere because I'm too lazy to do anything else. So Facebook, let's go for Facebook, and let's probably go to something else. Let's go for Skype, and this is how we're going to leave it. Let's go publish. Again, I'm not going to see anywhere anything added, but this is something for another video. Let's go back, and then we have the visitor engagement. Let's click here. As you can see here, you can put the tracking ID from the Google Analytics version 4. I'm almost certain that the Blocksy first version had here another box for Google Analytics version 3, but there is no point on having that because this has stopped working. So basically, here you can paste the tracking ID from Google Analytics. Then we have the schema markup that you can enable that. And then we have the open graph metadata. And basically, when you share links from your website into Facebook or other social groups, it will grab some settings. And here you can add your Facebook page URL, your Facebook app ID, and your Twitter username. Again, in most cases, this will be done through your SEO plugin, so you don't need to enable that. But if you're not going to use a SEO plugin, then by all means enable that, even if you're not going to add anything inside here. Let's go back and let's enable the scroll to top. Okay, I have enough content in order to scroll, and as you can see now that I have the scroll to top, this arrow will appear. It will not be visible once you're in the top of the page, but once you start scrolling and you scroll enough, you will see that it will come and appear here, that you can click and it will go into the top of the page. Let's scroll down again in order to see that, and once I click here into the scroll to top, I will see all the settings that I have. So I can see that I have the icon source to be the default or the custom one that you can change into the icons that we have here, and you can also upload your custom icon if you want, so something that matches your brand. Let's go for the default and let's go for something like this. Then we have the button shape, that it's square or circle, that we can change. I'm going to leave it as a square. Then we have the icon size. Let's put that as 15 just to see it. We have the bottom offset, and this means that it's going to move from the bottom. And then we have the side offset, and it will change from the side and it will take some space, as you can see here. We have the settings to change the value for the tablet and the mobile view as well. And let's go scroll down. We have the alignment, so we can put it on the left, we can put it on the right, and then we have the visibility, which means that basically once you hover over and you go into the mobile view, this will disappear. So let's go here into the mobile view, and if we scroll down, we will not see it. If I go to the tablet view and scroll down, I will see this icon. If I want to see it also into the mobile, I have to enable that, and now I can go into the mobile view, and here we can see it also. If I uncheck those, I will not see those in the tablet and the mobile view. Let's go back here, and then we have the design as well. Let's go and scroll down. Now we have the icon color that I can change and put it like blue, and then we have also the hover color. We have the initial background and the hover background. After that, we have the shape border radius, so you can choose that and put it like 4. And for the shadow, you can also play with the horizontal offset, vertical offset, blur, spread, insert or outline, and also you can enable and disable all of those settings. Personally, I don't use any icons for the scroll to top, because if I want to add something here, I would basically add something for the user to connect with the owner of the website and not just to scroll to the top. I think that this is a little bit fancy, but it doesn't add value to the website. Next, we have the website frame, and this is something that maybe it will give a retro layout to the website. And as you can see, once you click it, it will say that you have other settings from the arrow here, so you can click it and you will see that it has the frame size and the frame color. These are all the settings that you can choose and maybe do something like fancy color. I don't know why you may need to do something like that. I never have used it once. Also, we have settings that we can disable that in the mobile or the tablet view, because who wants a frame in the mobile view? Okay, let's disable that at all. And then we have the manage options here. So here we can export the customization, and here we can select the file that we have from another website and import that. And here we can reset all the options in order to start from blank. And that was the first video. It was just the general, and we have so many things to cover in the next following videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and of course for this series. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.